All right, just hours ago, former Intel Committee Chairman Congressman Devin Nunes filed a $250 million lawsuit against Twitter in Virginia State Court, alleging the social media company negligently failed to remove defamatory and malicious tweets about the congressman and his family. Twitter is declining comment tonight, but here to talk about this lawsuit and much more, California Congressman Devin Nunes. You do have a high bar. We all need that because if you're a public figure, you need actual malice and what's known as a reckless disregard for the truth, or else I would sue people every hour of every day. But it's harder. It's not like in the case of the Covington High School kid. Tell us about the suit.
Yeah, so this is the first of many, Sean. And what we're doing here is we're actually going after Twitter first because they are the main proliferator and they spread this fake news and the slanderous news. So if you look at the lawsuit, I think people can go and look at it on Fox News. It's all there. But the case we're basically making is this was an orchestrated effort. So people were targeting me. There were anonymous accounts that were developed. And look, there's not supposed to be, these accounts aren't supposed to exist. Twitter says that they don't have accounts that do this. So like I said, this is the first of many lawsuits that are coming, but there were several fake news accounts, whether it was regard to the Russia investigation or to me, and we have to hold all of these people accountable because if we don't, our First Amendment rights are at stake here. This isn't 20 years ago, Sean. What's happening is that Twitter becomes the gaslighting for all of the news, and when they're regulating us, they're regulating what people can see on my tweets, which they've done, and then they're proliferating out things that they agree with the algorithms that they develop. They need to come clean. They're not a public square. They are content developers.
For example,
that's right. So if you remember, last summer
they
shadow banned me.
Well, and he denied that ever went on, and he said he wants to be fair, but your analysis has not shown that it is fair across the board, and that a lot of these social media sites are, in fact, using those algorithms, if you will, or their behaviors to advance one side, which would then be, what, a political donation for Democrats?
Well, how is it that every day there's conservatives that are being banned? So, look, they don't want to call it shadow banning. That's fine. They can call it whatever they want to call it. But the fact of the matter is people could not see my tweets. Okay? So now, but if you move forward, if you get emails from Twitter, it's constantly left-wing stuff. It's constantly fake news stuff. So I think if Twitter wants to be in the public square and they don't want to be a content developer, they should come clean, give us all your algorithms. How is it possible that I can be attacked relentlessly hundreds of times a day by fake accounts that they claim in their terms of service should not be there? So I guarantee you, if I put something out that was sexually explicit or attacked someone personally, they would stop it. They would say this is a sensitive tweet. They never did that to any of the people that were coming after me or other conservatives. So, and this is more than just conservatives. Every American should care about this if they care about the First Amendment, because the press has definitely changed. You've said it numerous times. The press is dead. And that's why if we don't go and clean this up, and I actually said this on your show a few weeks ago, this is part of the continuing Russia investigation. We're not going to just let all these fake news stories that were written about this investigation, about this hoax, that were lies, we're going to challenge every single one of them in court. We're just starting with Twitter.
Well, the thing is it's so influential, and you're talking about so many, if not millions, billions of people, Facebook and some others, that it's incalculable how much that assists a narrative or a point of view. Let me ask you this, and as the former House Intel Committee chair, it's been frustrating as somebody who has been trying to get to the bottom of this whole Hillary getting a pass, FISA abuse, an attempt to undo a duly elected president, bludgeoning him with false Russian lies, etc. Now that we had Orr, Page, Strzok, the McCain aide, and this new information about Christopher Steele, and now that we know that everybody was warned in August, long before they leaked this information knowingly to the American people, and then used it as to quote your memo, the Grassley-Graham memo, as the bulk of information in the FISA applications, how much more is coming? Because I'm told this is only the beginning of what will be an avalanche of information that it has been hard to get out, but it's now coming.
Yeah, it's slowly coming. So this was all a result of the task force that we set up last year. We have now sent over about 50 names to the new chairman of the Intelligence Committee that we would like to interview to continue this investigation. There is also the information that is still classified that we would like to be declassified, and that is primarily 20 pages of the last FISA. The Bruce Orr 302s, the FBI reports that Bruce Orr was involved in, it's critical to have those because, as you know, Bruce Orr is a central figure in this, just like Andy McCabe.
And the whole Clinton bought and paid for Russian lies, the dossier we knew before the election, it's all not true. And Steele says it himself, right?
And also why it's so important, Sean, part of the reason that I'm starting with Twitter in these lawsuits and going on to the fake news stories, it's important to know who was behind putting those fake news stories out.
Wow. All right. We're going to follow this very closely. I think there's a lot to this story, a lot more than may meet the eye on its surface. Congressman, thank you for being with us. And Catherine Herridge, by the way, broke the story on FoxNews.com. When we come back, we need you to stay with us because coming up next, we're going to explain a mini monologue how this global warming, climate change, global cooling, every instance is nothing but hysteria to literally advance the political agenda of socialism. That's next.